Rico.
Hello YouTubers, Rigor here from Rigor's Garage and Boat Basin. Today we're going to take and work on Silent Choice exhaust. These are basically mufflers, but we've got on the inside where we can select running either exhaust through above water or through the prop. I hope you enjoy this episode, and thanks for watching. Well, found my Silent Choice kit for the Wellcraft. This is the air pump along with the connections. I'm going to assume says this is red, that's plus 5 volts, and these are the control pins since they go to this device, which shows which way the air goes. With this comes a weather pack kit. Part 1 here, this is 3 connections. These are the gaskets, the pins, and here is the single connection. Over on the other side is the fittings for the hoses, switch for the dash, and here is the tubing that goes from the air pump. Actually, it goes from this connection right here to both of the flappers in the Wellcraft exhaust. Silent Choice exhaust. Right now, in the exhaust, if you notice right here, I have these units, and what they are, there's a flapper inside here, and you see the flapper closes and blocks off the above water exhaust, and then it goes down through this coupling, which on a TRS drive is custom made, and goes out through the propeller. That way when you're cruising by the Polizia on the water, you can be nice and quiet in the no wake zone. So what I need to do is add, I got to pull these plugs out, and I've got to add the tubing for these. There's one on this side and there's one on that side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount the air pump right in here by the power steering pump. Either here or back in here, one of the two. This is the trim pump for the trim tab, but I don't have enough room on that side. That's the trim tab pump, and this is for the outdrive. I'm going to have to look to see where the best place is for it. I've got to see that the pump doesn't interfere with this pulley. So, but let me look at that when I get the pump in the boat. Hey there, break time in the truck. Working up here at the boat basin. Thought I'd catch an email. Got my drink from the clown, so I'm all set for break time. Got the Ford air conditioning going. Got an email from Bob in Washington. Bob writes, hey, subscribe to your channel. Like what you're doing. Had a quick question though. My brother walked into a bar and was assaulted. Should I get involved? You know, Bob, this sounds like a come on. It reminds me of the old nut joke. 2 nuts walked into a bar and one was assaulted. If I'm wrong about that, send me an email, let me know. But thanks for writing anyway. Hi there, we're back. We're working on the wires for the exhaust system. What I'm doing is putting on the weather pack connectors. This is what a weather pack connector looks like. They came with the exhaust, and of course what I'm doing, I got these instructions. The exhaust system that I bought came from Hardin Marine. out in wonderful sunny California, and it shows how to put the weather packs on. Basically, there are two pieces to each pin for the weather pack. One is this gasket right here, and beside it, of course, is that pin. Now, what you do with the gasket, if you take a look, there's two ways to put this. One is the ripple side, and the other is the round side. You put the ripple side towards the wire, so you slide it on. Now, these wires have already been stripped, so you basically slide this gasket on right up until you come to the insulation. Now, one of the things I like to do is do a little forming of these pins with pliers. I like to bring them in just a little bit so that they're mainly kind of straight up and down. And okay, so once I do that, you put the pin over the wire, and if you notice, the big pins on the back of this pin are some long prongs. What those for is they go over the rubber gasket. So with this, I take these special pliers or special crimper, and you put it in. Oops, let's try it again. And you crimp the pins, and there's the crimp that you get. Now, back here for the big pins, you use the nose of the crimper, and I think I'm going to just squeeze this a little more. And the nose of the crimper will sit there, and it'll give you a crimp around the gasket here. So I've got 2 out of the 3 done. And of course, here's my handy little weather pack kit, just in case I screw up something. So I will do this again. Basically, there's 3 connectors. They're for the switch, and it depends upon which way the pump will run, whether it is opening or closing the flap in the exhaust. Okay, let me briefly just form these again slightly. Go. And I'll put this on. Get my little crimper thing. Now on this I'm using number 14 wire, so I'm using the largest crimp on, but there's a crimp if you take a look at it. And then I'll come back with this one. and crimp around the gasket. Okay, so now that these are crimped, just look at some little things. Then we will take and put it into this weather pack connector. Now, of course, this is the male pin, and one goes in here and you push it and it snaps. Take a look. I'm going to put green in the middle. Now, this is generic number 14 tinned. I got a roll here, 30 feet. I don't think I'll need that much. It's only a 27-foot boat. And then I'll put the black in the other one. Okay. And then you snap it closed. That is the weather pack. Now what I'll do is when I finish up, I'll put heat shrink over this. But I need to put it in the boat and measure it to length. And on the other end will be this switch, which is a momentary center off on each way. This will go up by the dash, steering wheel, somewhere like that, to open and close the flappers on the exhaust. Okay, so now the parts we use, again, are these parts. Now this is a single one instead of 3, so we have 1 pin, and this is actually the one for the power circuit. Now with this, I use this device to strip the wire. I use a needle nose to just kind of do a little crimping, shaping, and then I use this as a crimper. If you notice, one side pushes and the other side has kind of a ripple tooth to it, and there's actually 6 positions on here depending upon the size wire you're using. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm using number 14 wire, so I'm using number 4. And then there's 2 for the back crimper on the insulation, and I'm using the larger one. I got larger wire. If you have smaller wire, you'd use a smaller one to go around the insulator. And that's how you do it. I hope you enjoyed watching me make a cable here. The next thing is put it in the boat and run it through the gunnel. Always exciting. Okay, working on the Silent Choice feature for the Wellcraft. Here's our parts. This is one of the pneumatic cylinders. I took it off to size the fitting here. Basically, this is 1/8 pipe thread with a hose barb. Right here, this goes, the line is a 1/4 inch ID. Basically, the line will come from the pump, go to the splitter or T for the first cylinder. That'd be this one, and then it'll go on here to this piece, which I'll put in the other cylinder. And then I've got these clips that'll go on the plastic line to secure them to all the parts. So making progress on the line. Next thing I'm going to start on after putting this plastic line in is the wiring for the pump. Okay, I've you can see amongst all of this, I've got the pump in, Right there is the white wire going to the front of the boat. You'll see the tubing. The tubing runs here under the gunnel. That wasn't particularly exciting to put in. And goes down here and connects to the pneumatic cylinder. So I got one on this side, and then there's a T, and it runs over, and you see there is one hooked to the pneumatic cylinder here. Next thing I need to do is put a switch, run the wiring through the gunnel, and put a switch on the dash. Okay, I'm working on the Silent Choice. I got the wire up here running through the gunnel. I took my little vibrating cutoff tool, cut this square, and I've got this switch which will hook to it. Basically, I need to bring 12 volts to this pin and the connections to the pump on the back here. Now, I've in the dash, I've got this was originally used for a marine radio. Since I mainly boat on a lake, I really don't need a marine radio, so I'm going to convert this for the Silent Choice exhaust, and I'm going to add some connections in the back for a USB charging port and something. So I'm going to cut this off and put a weather pack on it. And while I'm sitting here working on this adapter, I finally got tired of working in the sun. It'll definitely cook your goose, you know? So I went and bought a cheapy umbrella that's adjustable here. I hook it to someplace on the boat, and it gives me some shade. Down in Florida, you notice I had a tent. That was really cumbersome. This seems to work better. I mean, there's some attachments that we don't use. There's a place for hanging purses, and there's in the middle here, you can put in a cup holder. I mean, all that stuff we recycled. But I'm just trying to get in the shade, and it's got a little tripod down here, and you see I attach it to someplace on the boat to keep it steady in the wind. But I tell you, it's nice kind of working in the shade. Well, I made this is a uninsulated crimp. Basically, you can buy these on Amazon. Nice thing is they're small, and then what you do is you put the heat shrink over it, and you've got a wire connection. What I've got here is a pigtail to go on the back of the switch for the Silent Choice exhaust. This is the plus 12 that comes from behind the dash here. Okay, there it is. The Silent Choice exhaust switch is in, it's all wired up, and it works. Need to do sea trials next. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.